All right, welcome back to the series known as the Knowledge Dump, where I'm sharing off all the experience that I've had and giving it to you. This next one is going to be kind of a shorter one. This one, I actually previously did one about being a logistics broker, but now I'm actually going to talk about working at one of the manufacturers as a package handler. This one's going to be kind of short because it's not like there's a lot to go in depth here, but a package handler, what do? Well, you handle packages. Crazy, right? You take the packages from one side of the manufacturing place and you send it to another place. So my experience has been with Amazon and FedEx, where I've helped basically get packages from one area to the other part and had or loading up trucks or unloading trucks. Loading trucks, you basically are taking things that are flying in, scanning them, and then stacking them up in the truck in a way where you can put as many things as possible in the truck. Or unloading, where of course you're taking whatever is in the truck. Usually there's a conveyor belt that comes in and you're putting all the packages on there and sending it to its right location. And so when you're in these types of environments, just know that they can be very stressful, very hard-working type of environments, because you're always needing to be active. You have to be very careful. Make sure you have the right equipment. You might need a box opener because some packages require you to slice them, to separate them, so that you can go ahead and divide them up to the right places. Most of the time, they usually give you a scanner because you got to keep track of where these packages are going. I would say always wear gloves, nice rubber gloves, because you don't know what you're touching. Sometimes these boxes could be wet sometimes they could just have shit oozing out of them. Or for me, I was doing this in Minnesota and it was fucking freezing cold, so you had to actually wear the gloves to not freeze your fucking fingers and not have them get stuck to the metal truck or get stuck to the boxes if they're a little wet. Other than that, you can meet some really cool people there because everyone there pretty much hate their lives because it's a pretty shitty job to have, but you know it's a job that they need because packages are always going to be needed to be delivered somewhere. And so for me, if you're going to get into it, I would say do it for 6 to 8 weeks. Take yourself a break, quit, and tell them you'll come back in a few months. Most of the times they'll rehire you because they don't have any other thing, or they don't have any other people that want to come in. And so you can kind of get away with being a little bit of a jackass at these jobs because they need you more than you need them. But at the same time, you hate the work. But at the same time, they need the work. So it's a love-hate relationship. You know you can pick up hours, but you know if you pick up those hours, you're going to hate that you did. And some people did like it. Like, I've met some people there that have been there for years. They enjoy doing it. It's simple work. It's something mindless that you can do. Depending on where you're at, some people let you have headphones in, some people didn't. For me, I tried to bring in my Bluetooth speaker because then I could just hang it up somewhere in the truck and just blast music while I'm stacking up the trucks. And so you just have to be cool with your manager to be like, yo, man, I already hate this job. Let me at least play some music while I'm doing it. And then other than that, just be safe while you're doing it. You could easily get injured with this job. I've seen people where they stack up boxes and then they come down from stacking up and those boxes fall right over them because they weren't paying attention. So you have to pay attention while you're doing this job. It's a very unsafe job if you make it unsafe. But it could be a nice job that's safe if you actually follow the procedures that they give you. Most of these places, they do give you training. I remember I went to training, I think, for a few days before I actually got my gloves and scanners so I can start moving packages. And what do they tell you? Be safe. They most of the time will have an emergency button nearby where if things are getting too much for you, you can usually stop the belts or things like that so that you don't get crushed. So just be aware of where those are. And then other than that, yeah, just become as cool as me. Become as cool as you can with as many people as you can because you never know when they need to cover you for certain situations. I know sometimes, for me, I'm a bigger dude, and so I work with people who are smaller than me, and I was just cool with people because they would come up to me and be like, yo, man, I can't do this truck, man. Every single thing that comes down this goddamn belt is so fucking heavy and I can't move it. Can you switch trucks with me so that we can just move quicker? And you're gonna end up doing things like that. Or if not, most people, there's no call, and then you just don't fucking show up. At the beginning of the night, you guys all usually meet up at one area, discuss maybe some news about what's going on. Hey, we got this, we got this. All right, guys, we're gonna disperse. And before you guys disperse, you look around and you can see who's working that day with you. Most of the time, you're gonna see at least 2 or 3 people that should have been there not be there. And you're like, damn, what happened to them? Don't ask your manager, because more than likely, they don't know either. And so just do the best you can with the resources that you have. Work as quick as you can, but don't overwork yourself. Make sure you take adequate breaks. If you feel like you're overstressed, let your manager know. Tell them that you need some water, you need to take a little break, you need to stretch, you need to do something. And then other than that, do your time. Like, it's one of those jobs you probably, like I said, I met people there that did there for a long time, but then they would usually move up within the company and become managers and managers and managers. No one actually stayed a package handler for super duper long. So do your time, figure out what you need from it. If you want to go within that company and go up to the next level, make sure you share that with your manager. If you're only doing it for part-time or full-time, whatever it is, just to make some extra little bread, do your little time and then get out there, or get out, but have a plan. Like, you do package handling because you fucked up on the money somewhere and you usually need some money, or if not, it's just the easiest job to get, because these manufacturers need people to actually move things around in the, well, plant or manufacturing place, or the hub, or whatever they call it. They're always going to need it. I mean, I know you've probably seen videos of like these robots that move around, and one of the places I worked at, they did have the robots around, but they also were human assisted as well too. The products didn't just show up on those robots. Most of the time they got loaded by a human and they get unloaded by a human, and it just got moved around by the robots. So these are one of those jobs that can't be made completely autonomous either. So do your part, have fun while you do it. Like I said, blast some music, enjoy the time, meet some cool people, and make the most of it. So yeah. Peace.